everyone, how are you doing? I hope you're well. This morning I drew an oracle card for this week's message and I selected the Wisdom of the Oracle by Colette Baron Reed, and the card is called Fork in the Road. It's interesting, I got two clear messages from the card. The first one is about some of us are at a crossroads and we've been asked to take a decision. Looking at the card, you can see the post here with the arrows. Will you turn right or will you turn left? The choice is yours and yours alone. Now, it's interesting because on the card I can see two animals I was drawn to. First of all, a tiny owl. And the owl, to me, represents wisdom, knowledge. So if you are at a crossroads and feeling rather confused, lost, one way of dealing with it and to be in a place where you're going to be able to take a decision is to go within, find that inner wisdom and inner knowledge to help you to make a decision. Now, the second animal, which is to me very unexpected, is a monkey. Immediately I heard the term monkey mind. And it's true, being at a crossroads is not always easy. You can be confused, fear can stop you taking a decision, and the monkey mind can be in the way. So it makes sense. The best advice I would say and would give you would be to trust your intuition and maybe go back to your past and look at the experiences you had in your life and that created that inner wisdom, inner knowledge that you can use to help you to take a decision. Obviously, it's going to be very different from one person to another. Some people will feel inclined to make a decision rather quickly. Others will take the time maybe to assess what they've achieved in their lives and what they've learned from their experiences. So it's going to be very, very different. Now, the second message was a strong message for the collective consciousness of humanity. We know we as the collective consciousness of humanity, we've been through a very challenging phase for quite a while. Now, for nearly 2 years, we've been in a dark night of the soul. And consequently, many people went through an awakening, and a lot of us, many of us, are in that phase of questioning about life and our place in it, looking at what's wrong in this world, etc. So it's an important part of it that the collective has been going through. Now, the collective as well is at a crossroads. We've got two choices. We can stay in this reality of division and separation, or we are looking at going back to our true self, our authentic self. And by what I mean by that is, in spite of the division and separation in the collective, we need to understand, and I know Spirit tried to remind us that there is no division and separation. We are all connected at every level. Okay. And there is an aspect here during this process. I know it's hard to grasp the fact we are connected, but it's going to take us to a place where we can rediscover who we truly are. And one way of doing it is to go back to some basics. And when I'm talking basics is sacred knowledge. And I'm going to give you a few examples among many others. Like, for example, living more in the present, gratitude, love, compassion. So here we go. We've got two clear messages. But as I mentioned early on, they are very much connected because you, me, and others, humans, we are all part of the collective consciousness of humanity. So the future of the collective is going to be down to us. What we do, the decision we are going to make on an individual level. So now, what I would like to do is to draw a few tarot cards just to expand further on the message I got from the fork in the road and just see what spirits want to share with us, what kind of information. So I've selected the Light Seers Tarot, and I feel I'm going to maybe draw 3 cards, okay, and just see what information Spirit wants to share with us. Oops, okay. One flew already. Interesting. So I'm going to select another 2. Wow. Okay, the first thing, before I share with you each card, the first thing I noticed, 3 cards, 3 major arcana. So if you're not familiar with tarot, there are major arcana and minor arcana cards in a tarot deck. Minor arcana are more related to our 3D lives, daily lives, okay? You can make almost instant changes in your life. Very basic, okay? Now, major arcana, it's very different, okay? It's about life changes that will have a long-term effect, basically. So it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take time. It's going to be a long process. And it's interesting, while saying that, basically the energy reminds me of what I just shared with you regarding the collective consciousness of humanity. We have to be realistic if there is any changes happening, because remember, it's going to be down to the collective to make that decision. It's going to take time. It's not going to happen overnight. So this is interesting, the fact we've got 3 major arcana about this question today about the fork in the road. Now, the first card, the Tower. Generally, it's a card that people don't want to see in a reading, and I'm going to say why. To me, there are 2 messages from the Tower. The first one could be related to a sudden change happening in your life, very unexpected. You did not see it coming. It feels like a rug has been pulled out under your feet, and it can be very disruptive, okay? But what we need to understand, the Tower, which is a beautiful one, by the way, in this tarot deck, is not even a tower, it's like a hill of some sort. The Tower represents a building, an old building crumbling and collapsing. It represents the old. This is the analogy of the old, of representing whatever no longer serves you in your life. So this is a point in our lives, okay, where something has to go in order to leave room to bring something new in our lives. So yes, the change can be very sudden, but there is another message from the Tower. There is also an element when sometimes we have suddenly a self-awareness that something has to be changed. And if I have to describe it as an image, this is way before that the Tower collapses. This is when you see cracks in the walls and you've got that self-realization that something has to be changed, to be changed in your life. And basically, that's basically it. But the process that we almost required to do when we have that self-realization, it's to look at past experiences, I would say, from a fresh perspective. So we do realize that at one point in our lives, patterns, beliefs, situations were fine. It was part of our lives, but we've grown, we've evolved, and now they no longer serve us. So it's to go through that process where you take on board the information and you do realize it was working at what point, and now it no longer works, and we need to release what no longer serves us. So that's quite interesting. Yeah. Now the second card, another beautiful energy but very powerful too. The Magician. And it's funny, what just did strike me is the infinity sign on the hood. Because the Magician basically reminds us, especially in a situation like now, we could be at a crossroads, and I'm talking on an individual level as well for the collective. We already have the magic within us to manifest our dreams by realizing that we have the tools within us to make the necessary changes in our lives. And when I'm talking about tools, inner tools, I'm talking about, for example, the importance of our connection to our high self and spirit, especially if you are in a situation where you're a bit lost and you need guidance. Ask spirit, ask the divine, your high self, for guidance. And from there you can manifest or make the changes in your life that are necessary. The other aspect as well, and I'm talking about tools here, going back to the owl. It's there. On the fork in the road, it's about that inner wisdom. Okay? The inner wisdom, the knowledge we've learned through our lives, the wisdom came from our experiences. And from there, we can learn and manifest what is dear to us at this moment in time. And it's interesting, going back to the tower, I suddenly realized that just now. I do weekly readings for my page on Facebook, Mystic Dragonfly Whispers. And this week's message was about looking at past experiences, okay, and learning from them in order for us to move forward in life and evolve, grow. So this is a time where we're not asking people to stay in the past for the sake of it, but we may have to go through a process where looking at the past, looking what we've achieved, looking at different experiences will help us to move forward from a place at a crossroads where it can be, challenging. And it's almost, getting closer to our true self, what we are meant to do, what we are meant to be in this life. Now, finally, the last card, quite amazing, is the Judgment card. Now, the Judgment card for me is, the energy is very much connected to the Tower, and I'm going to tell you why. The Judgment card is also about being in a place of, at a crossroads, where a decision, and quite often a major decision, which could have long-term effect, needs to be done. Okay? But the aim here with the Judgment card is to go through a process of rebirth. You can see on this card, she's rising up. Okay, in a more traditional tarot deck, on the Judgment card, you can see pictures of dead people rising from a graveyard. And this is so symbolic because dead people represent death, but death not in a physical way. Okay, death meaning transformation, metamorphosis. And the aim here is to find your true essence. So during this process, it's very important to not only, how can I put it, trust our connection with spirit, trust our judgment, and know we are on the right path. It's about rebirth. It's about rising up. It could be sometime about a spiritual awakening or simply answering an inner calling. This process is going to get us so close to our true self, our true essence, and embrace, I would say, our soul purpose, our life purpose, where what we are meant to do in this lifetime. And when I say there is a kind of connection with the tower, quite often the tower, the energy of the tower would be a trigger point for us to go through this process of rising up, becoming our true self. And it's all about talking about, the magician, some of the inner tools we can use is about finding the inner strength, the courage to show the world who we truly are. Wow, what a message this week. It's amazing, so powerful. Now, before ending the video, I've got something else to show you, which is absolutely beautiful. And in some way, it's related to the message I had from the fork in the road for the collective, being at a crossroads and learning about our true self, rediscovering who we truly are, and our connection. We are all connected at every level, and it's about rediscovering or relearning and accepting this concept. So basically, this is something I found on social media. I posted it on my Facebook page, I think it was yesterday, but I want to share it with you because it's so related to the collective consciousness of humanity as we are at now. Okay, so I'm going to show you first what I'm talking about. Look at this beautiful poster. It's a poster basically, so wait for it. I'm going to share with you the information, who actually created it, etc. How amazing is that? The visual is amazing. Okay, so I'm going to try to pronounce the name, but sorry if I'm going to mispronounce it. If you want to check the name, you can check the actual post on my Facebook page at Mystic Dragonfly Whispers. Now, I think it's Anja Rosen. She's a 13-year-old elementary school student from Slovenia, and she's the winner of an international contest. I think it's called Placat MRIU or Maru, I'm not sure. Now, she was chosen among 600,000 children from all over the world. Okay, and here's the message she gave regarding the poster she created. My poster represents the earth and connects and unites us. People stick to each other. If one person let go, the rest will fall. We are all connected to our planet and to each other. But unfortunately, we are little aware of it. I mean, how amazing is that? I mean, not only she's so talented, clearly, and she can capture the true essence of life. So I want to show you that picture again. Absolutely amazing. I just love it. Here we go. So that's it for this week. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking and sharing. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel to receive notifications on future videos. If you are interested to get a personal intuitive reading, please check my website. You'll find the link below in the description box. So thank you again for watching. You take care. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.